Good morning children and welcome to the online teaching session. Students, in the previous video, we have started the new unit, that is microbes and their welfare. Now in this case, our first chapter is human diseases, and we have already seen that we have to study the two types of diseases. One is communicable and next is non-communicable. Now, I told you that the communicable diseases are caused because of the pathogens. Now, what are these pathogens? Pathogens are the disease-causing microorganisms. And then I told you that we'll study about the different kinds of pathogens and the disease caused by them. So, today we will begin with the disease caused by pathogen number 1, that is bacteria. So, our today's topic is bacterial disease. Now children, what are these bacteria? I know the question is the question is very easy for you because I am asking what is bacteria where we have already studied about the whole genetics. Okay, then I am asking you the bacteria, no issue. So what is this bacteria? This bacteria is a small microorganism. It is a prokaryote. Okay. And it is known for causing the disease. Now, what type of diseases are there which can be caused by this bacteria? So, we can say that there are several diseases like typhoid is there, tetanus is there, pneumonia is there, diphtheria is there, cholera, plague. Okay, all these are the bacterial diseases. Now, we will see in our book, this time in our syllabus, we have to study about the 3 different diseases that is caused by the bacteria, and these diseases are number 1, typhoid, then diphtheria, and the third one is the plague. Okay, now see children, we'll begin with the typhoid. See, this typhoid is caused by bacteria named as Salmonella typhi. Okay, so the name I have written, it is called as the Salmonella typhi. Now children, what are the symptoms of the typhoid? The symptoms of the typhoid are number 1, headache. Okay, then abdominal pain. After that, mental confusion, red rashes in the 2nd week, constipation, loss of appetite, weakness, intestinal perforation, and death in severe cases. So all these are the symptoms of the typhoid. Now children, you must be thinking that this can be the symptoms of different diseases also. Because in general fever also, we feel the headache, we feel loss of appetite, we feel weakness, sometimes we feel abdominal pain also. So all these are the normal symptoms of any of the diseases. So what is so special in case of typhoid? Like there should be something by which a person can directly say that now you are suffering from this typhoid. And that situations are enteric fever. And the meaning of enteric fever is intestinal fever. Okay? Intestinal fever. And if the fever persists for the 2 weeks continuously, and if there is a red rashes in the body, then we can say that a person is suffering from the typhoid. Okay? Now, generally, the incubation period of typhoid is 10 to 14 days. Clear? Now, I have already told you the meaning of the incubation period. That is, it is a gap between the entry of the organism in the body till the first symptom appears. Then that period of time is called as the incubation period. And during the incubation period, any pathogen, they simply multiply. Okay, they increase their number so that they can infect our body. So the incubation period of the disease is 10 to 14 days. Even after getting the entry of the Salmonella typhi, after 14 days, we can feel these type of symptoms, and then we'll go to the doctor for our checkup, and then he declared that there is a typhoid. Now see how this disease is spread. So disease can be spread with the help of contaminated food, water and contaminated flies. Okay, so because of all these, that's why children, we always advise not to drink the open water. Water must be closed by some lid wherever it is kept. Okay, don't eat the open food where multiple flies are there. So we should avoid these food and water. We always follow all the rules and regulations of the hygiene. Clear? Now, what can be the treatment? Number one, this is the Vidal test. Okay, by taking the blood test, the doctor suggests for the Vidal test, and then through the Vidal test, we can treat this disease. After that, prescribed antibiotics. Now, these are some simple points that is common for every disease. Prescribed antibiotics. Then, isolate the patient. Keep the patient away from everything. And isolate the formite used by the patient. This also we can do. Good care, good nursing, good care, proper hygiene condition should be provided. Light food must be given to the patient. Boiled water must be given to the patient because it is a disease caused by contaminated food and water. So pure water and fresh food must be given to the patient, and then immunization is also the effective control measure of the disease called as the typhoid. Clear? Now see children, one or two important point is there, and the important point is there. This fever persists for about 1 to 8 weeks, like this enteric fever, and once the patient get rid of all this disease, then also the symptoms remain inside the body of the patient, and the patient harbor this disease, or the patient store the symptoms of the disease inside the body. While looking, we will feel that the person is already alright, but still the person will become the carrier of this disease. Okay, and the reappearance of the disease can occur at any time. So this is about the typhoid. Now in your book, one or two very important points are given. See, there may be relapse about 2 weeks after apparent recovery. After 2 weeks of the recovery, the patient may appear the disease once again. First point. And second important point that is given here, about 3% of the patient become carriers after they had recovered from the disease, and such persons harbor the infection in the gallbladder and continue to excrete the bacteria in their feces. Now, after controlling the disease, after becoming all fine from the disease, still many of the person, they may become the carrier of the disease. Okay, and these bacteria, they continuously comes out through the feces, and if on that feces the flies will sit, and if those flies will again sit on some food stuff, then the healthy person will also get the disease. And that's why it is very dangerous, children, very dangerous, because it may make the person carrier of the disease, and the patient harbor these bacteria inside the gallbladder, and it comes out, these bacteria comes out through their feces, and then it may contaminate the food, water and through the flies. Clear? So this is all about the disease typhoid. Now we will see about the diphtheria. Diphtheria. Diphtheria, actually, it is a disease of children under 5 years and adults over 60. So children, this diphtheria, I am writing it here. Okay, I have a space. This is the disease which occurs in children under 5 years and adults above 60. Clear? So this is one point. Now see, this diphtheria frequently occurs in winters due to optimum temperature for the growth of the bacteria, because bacteria requires certain temperature where it can grow, and this is caused by the bacteria named as Corynebacterium diphtheriae. So this Corynebacterium diphtheriae needs low temperature for its growth and development, and that's why this diphtheria frequently occurs in winter. Okay, and this disease spread from person to person through the respiratory droplets. It is a serious infection of nose and throat. Okay, so serious infection of nose and throat spread through the respiratory droplets, and the optimum temperature for the development of this bacteria is in the winters. Next, causative organism. It is caused by Corynebacterium diphtheriae. Incubation period. We know the meaning? 2 to 5 days. Now, what will be the symptoms? There is no any specific symptom of this disease, children. No any specific early symptoms. But after some time, the symptoms will appear. Now, what were the symptoms? Like sore throat. Definitely, if it is a respiratory disorder, then sore throat, chill, mild fever, vomiting and headache. Now, once again, children, all these are the common symptoms that occurs in all the diseases, almost all the diseases. If somebody is having a normal fever because of the cold, and then a person is having cold and cough and normal fever, okay, and other person is also there and he is suffering from the diphtheria. So how we will identify that where is the diphtheria and where is a normal fever? So for this, after the early symptoms, during the late symptoms, there is one special symptom, and that if the blood clots will come through the nose, then that will be the important symptom by which we can identify that a person is suffering from the diphtheria. So, what is the key symptom? It is blood tinged through the nasal discharge. Clear? So, all these are the normal symptoms. We cannot identify that the person is suffering from the diphtheria. But if the person is having a blood clotting through the nasal discharge, then definitely we can say that it is a key symptom. Now again, you people may get confused that generally the blood comes out by a simple nasal discharge, through the simple nasal discharge also. But that blood that comes out through the nasal discharge, that generally occurs in the summer season, not in the winter season. So if in the winter season this nasal discharge is there, then, and that too in the form of the clots, then the person is suffering from the disease named as diphtheria. Clear? Now what can be the prevention? Number 1, check test. Clear? Check test. This is the most important. As if in case of typhoid, we have seen that it is a vital test, normal blood test through which the doctors can detect a person is suffering from some disease. And it is a check test. Then after that, immunization, vaccination, isolation of the patient, good nursing, caring, keeping the patient away, keeping its formite and clothes and everything away from the normal person. Proper hygienic condition should be there. So all these are the normal prevention of the disease named as diphtheria. Okay. Now we will see about the plague.